Hi friends, Judy Tuttle here for another edition of Casing Through the Catalog in June. Thanks for joining me. Today we will be casing this card that's right here in the bottom. Ooh, maybe I should put you on my hands, huh? This card right here that's in the bottom right corner of page 41 that says hello lovely. This is a super quick and easy card to put together. I'm going to show you how they did it for the catalog, and then tomorrow we're going to show you a fun fold card made with the same design. We're going to kick it up a notch for you. Okay, so if you look also on pages 45, they show you three versions here. Same design, just using different card bases and different DSP from the same DSP pack. This is all from this Florals and Bloom suite. That's just fabulous. We're having a sweet sale right now, so if you haven't bought the Florals and Bloom suite, you need to buy it because it is incredible. So probably should put that on your in your cart right now. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm starting with a card base that is pretty typical, 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the middle at 4 1/4. Just gonna grab my bone folder, get a really good fold on this, okay? Now, the next thing I've done is I have a piece of that Florals and Bloom Designer Series paper. It is cut exactly the same size as the card front, 5.5 by 4 1/4, 5.5 by, but we're gonna take this right side and we're gonna score it 1 inch from the edge and fold that over. So you get both sides of the DSP on the front of your card, okay? So this is gonna get adhered right here to the front of our card with about 3/4 of an inch on either side, okay? So I'm gonna grab my Seal Plus, and I'm gonna adhere this to the front of my card base here. Probably need to move it over just a tiny bit more, right like that. There we go. Now, I noticed that it's a little bit over the edge here at the bottom, so I'm going to grab my paper cutter here, and I'm just going to cut that little bit off that edge. There we go. Okay. To hold this flap down right here, I'm going to add some Seal Plus right there next to that edge. And there we go. Okay, so now I've done a couple of things ahead of time for us. I have already cut out the word lovely, and I've cut out the shadow, which is the fatter font in basic white. And then I've cut out the overlay, the skinnier font in Petunia Pop. That's what color that is, Petunia Pop. So I had added adhesive sheets to the back of my Petunia Pop before I cut this so that it would make this into a sticker. So if you saw me this morning, our online class for the week is taking these cards that we've cased from the catalog and kicking them up a notch, just like Emerald, right? Kicking that up a notch, bam. And we're going to do the same thing with this card tomorrow. We're going to take this card and make it into a fun fold, just so that you can see that all of these cased cards can be made more or less to your own personal preferences, right? So, you know, Monica and I don't like to do things little. We love a lot of bling and bloom and bam to our cards. So we're going to show you tomorrow how you can make this card into a fun fold, and I think you're going to like it. Okay, so there we go. I've just overlaid the shadow part with the Petunia Pop, so it says lovely. And I used that adhesive sheet on the back of the Petunia Pop, so it made it into a sticker. That made it really easy to attach right to that white base there. Okay, so now I'm going to strategically add some mini dimensionals to some parts of this word lovely. I'm even going to cut some of these dimensionals in half so that I can get some of these skinnier parts here. I think that is too wide right there. I'm going to move that over. There we go. Keep going. Definitely one to the O, one to this L over here, one on the V. And then down here on this skinny part, you're going to take this little edge right here, and I'm just going to cut some slivers. Skinny slivers. That's going to allow me to attach it right there. Another little sliver. Just want this to hold in place. Twist it a little bit there. One more here. Put it right here. Okay, that should do it. I might put one more on this L right here. There we go. Okay, so there's all my dimensionals. And like Mary said before, gosh, what would we do without all these dimensionals, right? Take off the backing of all of these. Fast and easy card with this catalog cased card. Okay. And it's going to go on right like that. Now, in my mind, if I had been the creative artist that made this, it would have been really hard for me not to put a lot of bling on this. But I think knowing Monica, who's designing our fun fold for tomorrow, there's definitely going to be some bling on this card. I have no doubts in my mind. So I'm going to say the word hello here on a piece of basic white. It is 5/8 by 1.5, and I'm just going to pop it up right here over that word hello. Get some big dimensionals. And then that's all we did on the front to case the catalog. So here's the catalog. Again, I'll bring this back in. Here's the catalog card. Here's our card. Pretty identical, right? I noticed even the flowers are in exactly the same place as they are on this card. I don't know how that happened. We just got lucky on that. Okay, now for the inside, you guys know they don't show us the inside, but I always love to bring the outside to the inside. So I cut 2 strips of DSP. One of them, I'm going to use the big flower side. So it's going to go on the edge over here. Right there. And then I'm going to flip this over and put the other side right next to it, and it kind of brings right the outside to the inside. You get both sides of that DSP on the inside, right like that. Okay, now I'm going to add this to the inside of my card. There we go. And there's our very simple cased card from today's Casing the Catalog episode. And it's the same card that's on page 41 of the catalog right there. And there are other color options right here at the bottom of page 45. This is the one I made. It looks like this one is Darling Duckling with some Strawberry Slush and Timid Tiger. This one looks like Coastal Cabana with Secret Sea, and maybe some Petunia Pop. And then they're just showing you how to fold that paper in half right there. So anyway, I hope you guys like our cased card for today. Join me tomorrow while we show you how we're going to step this one up a notch and make it into a fun fold card. So I'll see you tomorrow around noontime, okay? God bless everybody. Have fun. Have a fun evening. Bye-bye.